update on your leg injury and the ankle? Jim told you had an ankle too today.
Yeah, I would say it's more so the ankle than the contusion. I think that's something that's easily recoverable, and I'm doing everything I can with the ankle, but that's kind of the main reason right now.
That's your left ankle?
Left ankle.
So the other ankle for the high ankle sprain?
Yep, got both of them covered.
Both of them covered. And is it a high ankle again?
Yeah, I don't know the exact. It's either high or low. It's a sprain, but I'm not quite sure on the exact specifications of it.
Do you feel like you could have practiced today, or Jim said there's a chance you could have talked him out of it, or something like that, or how do you feel about practicing this week? Did you feel like you could have practiced today?
Talked him out of.
Yeah, he was basically like before practice. He talked to us and said he wanted to progress, but you could talk him out of a rest day if you wanted to, or something like that.
So Justin's going to be Justin.
If I felt like I could have practiced at 100% and make sure that everyone's getting the full speed rep, I definitely would have. I didn't think I was able to do that. The trainers didn't think I was able to do that today, so we were all on the same page with that.
When did the left ankle injury happen?
It was one of the early third down conversions that we didn't get on a scramble. I think we got 7 yards. First drive.
Third and long, where you were initially going left, cut back right, like with Bradley in front of you?
Yep.
That left.
Yeah.
Okay. And so how does it compare to the level of pain that you were dealing with the right ankle earlier in the season?
I would say that this one is probably not as severe. It's definitely painful enough to be able to miss a practice. But I felt like I've been able to move around a little bit better this week than I did, after Carolina, where I was put into a boot and had difficulty walking. But I think we're farther along this week.
So when you went out for the play after you got hit in the left knee, was that just because of the pain you're dealing from the contusion, or was that at that point were you also feeling the ankle? It was sort of a combination.
That was pain from the contusion. So I went out for that one. Felt like I was able to return after that, but two separate plays.
And then with the ankle, did you feel it more sort of after the adrenaline wore off after the game, or were you kind of battling it through the game?
It was difficult to play with. It was one of those things that we kind of talked about where we kind of limited some of the runs. I didn't feel great running out of the pocket, but it was just one of those things you had to battle through.
So when you were grimacing and kind of had that limp after the third down run on the first series, that's when you were feeling it? Because the TV camera showed you were limping a little bit and grimacing going back to the sideline.
When I stood up after that play? Yeah, it was probably that play where, I kind of realized that I had kind of hurt it a little bit and, went to the sideline, got it taped up and got it re-taped up, added some spatting onto the outside of the shoe as well. But felt comfortable going back out there.
In terms of pushing off and everything, how much would it affect this ankle maybe compared to the right ankle in terms of throwing and everything?
Yeah, throwing on the sideline, I kind of realized that it that's kind of when it bothered me. It was rotating and kind of stepping through the throw. But at the time it was taped up. It was spatted up as well. I felt like it was stable and could fight through it. So it was just one of those things where we got to do everything we can. Treatment this week to make sure that it's good to go on Sunday.
You've been wearing that sleeve on the left leg. Was that a factor at all? Whatever you had been dealing with before, was that a factor at all? And when you got hit in the knee, did you aggravate anything?
No, that's kind of another another separate injury where it's just swelling and you're just doing everything you can to compress it, keep it warm. So that was completely separate than the
Swelling
yeah.
Do you know when? Was that a game injury as well? Assuming.
I couldn't tell you exactly when. I think it was just something that popped up, and just working with the trainers and talking through and making sure that you're compressing it, keeping it warm, and doing everything you can to limit that swelling.
Obviously, it's football, so you're going to have nicks and bruises and even some injuries. But any frustration on your end, just the number of injuries you got to deal with this year, from the plantar fascia to the high ankle sprain, knee swelling, now you got a contusion, other ankle, anything on your end as far as frustration about dealing with all of that?
It could be a lot worse. Unfortunately, I've been through some pretty gruesome injuries, and breaking a femur and it's been bad. It's been worse. And to fight through this is, it's part of the game. And I think that's one of the things that has made this locker room so special is, all those guys are so tough. And like you said, it's part of the game. And it's the unfortunate part of the game, but it's reality. And we got a great, set of trainers in there, sports medicine that really take care of us and do everything we can to protect us. And at the end of the day, we feel safe going out there.
Having the rib injury as sort of a reference point to like how bad it could be, does that help in these situations?
Yeah, it could always be the ribs. It could always be a femur. So, this is nothing compared to that. And I'll do everything I can in treatment, make sure that I'm good to go. And, it does give you good perspective. So it's cool to see.
Is it overly simple to say, like tomorrow, if you feel you can go full speed reps, you'll be out there? Is that overstating?
Yeah, I think it really is day by day, and it's how you feel. And if I wake up tomorrow and I go check in with the trainers and I say, hey, I feel like I can run, and I'm sure they're going to be pretty patient with me and understanding that we got to make sure that we ramp up and pass all these checkpoints to be good. But I'm sure they'd be pretty working and pretty flexible with that as well.
Also, one of those things where you go, can I just get out of here and 1 year without something happening?
Yeah, I haven't really thought about that, but it's a tough opponent. It's unfortunate, but you always look to the next one and say we're going to be better on the next one. So it's what we're going to get done.
You've been limping in that hallway a number of times.
Yeah, it's a long walk too.
So the post draft to Josh, just going back to the game, was there a bit? Were you guys maybe not on the same page as far as the angle that he was taking out of his break there? Or when you're watching it back, did you figure out anything as far as why maybe that didn't connect?
Yeah, you could say that, but that's on me to be able to see his angle and throw him, open. It's just one of those plays where you get too high safety and you want to be able to cut right down the middle, and I just got to give him a better ball. He ran a great route, and it's one of those things that you'd love to have back and love to make a better ball.
Okay.
You've had a long run this year without throwing a pick. How much of it is skill, luck, and a combination of everything?
Yeah, probably more luck than anything. I think it's just one of those things where you go play quarterback and you're not worried about it. And if I throw an interception, it is what it is. I'm doing everything I can to protect the ball and make sure that I'm not putting the team in harm's way. But at the end of the day, you got to be aggressive downfield. You got to take your shots, and if they're down there and there's a tipped ball or someone makes a great play, that's the way the game goes. And I think we've been very fortunate for a lot of our guys who have been able to make plays on poorly thrown balls where they're knocking them down or tipping them away from harm. So I think we've been able to skate away with a couple of those as well.
Are you aware of how many attempts you've gone without throwing an interception?
I have not heard. Yeah, do you know off the top of your head?
Of course. 355. The record's 402.
Okay. Yeah, we're probably not going to throw the ball 50 times, but we'll see. And I think it really is just one play at a time. And it's been cool to be a part of so far. And we've really done a good job of talking and emphasizing limiting turnovers. And I think we've cut down on fumbles, and we've been smart with the ball. And I think that's what's led us to have such a great turnover margin. With the defense that we've had, they've been able to force a lot. So I think it's been really good for us.
What do you see from Tampa Bay and their defense?
Yeah, they do a lot of different things really well. They're going to play a bunch of different coverages, and they've got a whole protection, blitz pressure plan that really gets after the quarterback. And whether that's 4 strong, 4 weak, safeties, corners, nickels, they've got some really athletic linebackers as well. They've really been able to get after the passer.
What was it like to see your brother win a Big Ten championship now and knowing that in a couple weeks they're going to be back here?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. We kind of talked a little bit about it, and I don't think there are too many people that have a Big Ten championship and a Pac-12 championship without transferring. I think he might be the only one on the team from 2019 when we were there. So it's been really cool to see. I've really enjoyed watching him play, and especially watching the Ducks play as well.